Welcome. My name is Melinda Hart. You are watching Stamping with Hart. I am an independent demonstrator with Stampin Up. And tonight we're just going to be making a cute project with penguin place. My plan was to experiment with making an igloo. Okay, and I don't know. I didn't get very far, but I just figured we'd put together like a pretty simple card. At least I hope it's going to be pretty simple, by making a cute little igloo and then putting our penguin right in the middle. And I didn't get to finish my penguin either. If you don't already know what Penguin Place is, it is this bundle here where we have the stamp set and we have the penguin punch. This wasn't available for a long time, so now that it's back, I know that a lot of people are really excited, including me, because this is, I think, one of the cutest sets that we had in our holiday catalog. Penguin Place, I wanted to do something a little bit wintry, so I'm kind of using a variety of products here. I hope you guys don't mind. I'll walk you through what I'm using. A little bit unconventional, but I just wanted to do something wintry. I was thinking, you know, we could do something Christmas, or maybe we could do something a little bit more on the wintry side today. So I decided to use Night of Navy. So the Night of Navy cardstock. And then I also wanted to pull 2 sheets of Designer Series paper from the Beauty of the Earth Designer Series paper pack. So I know that we use this primarily for fall, but this paper can actually be used for more than one season. And I remembered these really pretty patterns. So I wanted to get these out again and just show you guys because they're really beautiful for like a winter theme, card. If you're feeling, you know, like you want to make something a little bit more on the cool tone side, or working with blues. So this is from that set, and so is this. So just depending on how you're feeling, I chose to go with this piece here. I just really love how this looks. And I know that not necessarily an igloo is like in the middle of a forest, but still, I just thought, for creative license, why not just do something pretty and wintry? The other thing that I brought in, there's a few pieces here, but we're going to do a little bit of embossing for our igloo. And I know that traditionally igloo are a bunch of blocks, but I thought that the bark embossing folder actually looked kind of icy. I kind of like the pattern for it, so I thought, you know what? I'll try doing this. So this is the bark embossing folder with basic white cardstock. And then I made this little doorway to the igloo with this punch here. So this is from Elegantly Said. In the catalog, I think this is the Elegant Tag Punch. I'll have to look it up. This one's in the annual catalog. And I just used this side of it. So I'll show you how I ended up doing that too. So our card size is going to be the traditional card size that I use, which is 5.5 by 8.5, and then scored, there's the 5.5, and then it's scored at 4.25. Okay, and then my random item for tonight is a plate. So I needed something to make my igloo, and I don't have a circle die this large. So anything that you have that is circular, the goal was that I wanted to keep it under 6 inches, or just like right to the edge of the card here. So I ended up using like a saucer plate. I thought that that was cute, but you could certainly do a smaller igloo if you want to. For your Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, you're going to need your number 1 and your number 4 plate. And then we have the bark embossing folder here. So when you look at the pattern, there's really nothing specific. Like the timber embossing folder has a little bit more of that wood grain feel to it. And even though this is supposed to be bark, I thought this is actually really cool. It looks very icy to me. So I wanted to try this for the igloo. So I'm going to cut a piece to 6 inches. You can go under, you could stick to 5.5 if you want to get really specific with it, but I'm going to cut it to 6. So the first thing I'm going to do is just slide this paper in here. Just tuck that in. And now I'm going to sandwich it between the 1 and 4 plate. And we're just going to crank it through. Let's see if I can bring this over to where you guys can see it. Okay. All right, and so here we go. And I just think that that is the most cool impression there. And I do think that that looks super wintry. I mean, you guys can let me know if you agree or not. We do have the brick embossing folder too, which I think would also be cute for an igloo. So you can choose, you know, whichever side that you want to work with here. But basically, all I'm going to do, I'm going to do this at an angle so that you guys can see what I've got going on here. But I just basically wanted to see both of these edges here of the paper. And then I'm just going to trace around the plate. Okay, so it's not even the full plate, it's just kind of the edge. And let's see if I can keep that kind of straight. Just literally trace that. And then just cutting under the line. So my goal is to kind of keep it under 5.5, but if it's too big, we'll just readjust it for our card base. But the other part of this measurement, and I'll show this to you guys in just a second, just a cute, quick little igloo. You can make a bunch of these pretty quickly. I want to go into the depth here briefly because this is 2 inches deep at the center. And the reason that I'm measuring that is for this, whenever we're making our doorway, you want to make sure that it's not going to cut the whole tag. So it will be just under. So I'm going to kind of keep that as center as I can. And I'm just going to make a door. So there we go. And that way, when you know it's 2 inches, you know that it will not be the entire size of the punch. Okay, so that is our little igloo. And then we're just going to test the size and see how we're looking here. Now, if you would want to keep it even simpler, there is, if you don't want to do designer series paper, if you like the way the white looks against the night of navy, there's a little snowflake punch, a snowflake stamp rather, I should say, that you could use with white ink or white heat embossing and just make it look like it's snowing, which would be really cute too. So here, I'm just going to kind of eyeball this, and it's only very slightly over. So I'm just going to go in here, and I'm just going to bring in these edges just a little bit. I know it's not precise. If you do have a circle cutter that's larger, you know, if you have a circle die or a semicircle die or some type of a circle cutter or a stencil that's larger, you could certainly use it. I did not have that, so I'm going with this. All right, and so there we go. There's our little igloo. Now on the inside, let me show you what I did here on my sample card, at least what I got finished. There's also a piece on the inside. It's the same exact folder. It's still the bark embossing folder, but it's with vellum. And that was just so that it looked icy. And that's totally optional. But I thought it was cute. Like, I thought it kind of brought it to life a little bit. And I do have a piece here. Let me just grab it. And let me bring in my ink so I don't forget. Okay, so the only thing that I did here was I'm going to adhere this to the vellum piece. So I'm just going to get some dimensionals here. So I'm just going to put this right onto the vellum. And then I'm just going to trim it out. not going to see the back of that anyway. So it doesn't have to be perfect. And then we have just our cute, simple little igloo. And then we're going to bring in, or we're going to create, I should say, we're going to create some penguins. So I already have a couple of little outer penguin pieces done, but let's punch a couple of inner pieces. So I'm just going to bring in my penguin punch and some scrap paper, and then we're going to cut this piece here. Let's just do 2 of these. We're going to get our little eyes and our beak and our feet. All right, so that's these 3 stamps here. So you can either fully stamp your penguins out, or you can punch them in this 2-step process. You can do little feet. I'm actually just going to stamp the feet onto the penguin in this case. So we're going to use, let me grab my pumpkin pie. We'll use our basic black and, not basic black, listen to me, the Memento Tuxedo Black. And we'll use our pumpkin pie. So let's stamp the eyes first. Okay. And then let's do the beak. I'm going to keep the beak close to the eyes. So cute. Not much to these, but they look so cute as you're building them out. And then I'm just going to do the feet right at the bottom. There we go. They're cuties. They're little cuties. All right, just trying to see what I did with my stamp and seal. So let's go ahead and pop these on here now. Okay, so here's the first one. And then let's do a second one here. Oh my gosh, I just love them. Every time I make one, I just think they are so cute. Okay, so now we're going to bring in a piece of that designer series paper. I'm not planning on getting too crazy with this. So again, this is from the Beauty of the Earth designer series paper. This is available in the annual catalog. I just think it's such a pretty wintry picture. And this is trimmed at 4 by 5 1/4. And I'm just going to put this piece down. Okay, so I'm just gonna get some adhesive on both sides here, just not where the doorway is. And then, and of course I get some glue, old glue, there we go, on the outside. So I'm just gonna go right to the edge of the designer series paper here to line up my little igloo. Okay. And then what you'll notice here is that our little penguin fits right inside. So you can put your little penguin right in the doorway, or you could do them on either side of the doorway, and maybe they have a bunch of presents piled up on the inside. We'll do, let's see how long this is. So this sentiment is about, looks like it's just under 2.5 inches. So let's do 2 and, well, let's just go to 3. I'll give myself a little extra room. Expressions in Ink ephemera pack. So this is in it. And I think that these are perfect stand-ins for snowflakes. These already have the adhesive backing on them. They're iridescent, but they have just like a nice little hint of shimmer to them. If you guys have, you know, your actual snowflakes or cool looking sequins or something, you could use that, but I thought I would use these on this. So I'm actually going to pop my little penguin up on dimensionals too. And we're going to pop our sentiment up on dimensionals, so we'll have a little bit more of a pop with our project here. So here we go. Hopefully you guys can see that. I have a host code posted on my blog and on my Facebook page that if you spend $50, you get a little freebie from me. And if you guys have any questions about that, you can let me know. All right, guys, thank you so much for hanging out. I appreciate it. And I'll see you again on Thursday.